What's going on, good people? This is your boy Von Freeze back at you live from the fifth dimension, checking in with you. Today is not really a cook-up video. I had a subscriber ask me, how do you control your MIDI when you were in standalone, or not standalone, but controller mode? So I'm thinking that he meaning that how do you control, of course, my setup is the workstation to the MPCX into my desktop to control the VSTs. Now, me personally, I never use controller mode. I do everything in standalone, but the way I got my system hooked up, I still control all the MIDI from my workstation going into my MPCX and then into my desktop to control the VSTs. Me myself, all I'm worried about is having all the sounds that I need at the fingertips, at my fingertips. So that's all I'm concerned about in a way to record it. So, long story short, what I'm going to do is, bring in the video that I did last week explaining how to hook up your MIDI from your workstation into your MPCX. So I'm going to go ahead and drop that right now. Stay tuned. Yes, this section is dedicated to showing you how to hook up your MIDI controller or how to control your software from your MPCX. So first of all, I have two connections. One is going to be a MIDI to USB, which is this. It looks like this. And next is going to be a USB to USB. Now this is coming from my keyboard workstation. It also could be, used for a keyboard controller also. So first, I'm going to hook up my keyboard controller with this cable right here, the USB. So as y'all know, I got an 88 key workstation keyboard, so I can't get back there and have enough light to show y'all what it looked like. But long as you hook this up to the USB in the back of your workstation or your controller, it should work properly. And, of course, it's going to be labeled. So what I would do is I'm going to hook this one up to the USB port 2. Now, I know some of y'all may think, why did you have the USB to MIDI? Well, the reason why I still use this is because I use USB port A for my thumb drive. So I wish it was more thumb drives on there, then I can use another USB cable. But this gets the job done as well. So what I want to do now, since I got my keyboard workstation hooked up to my MPCX, now I want to take the MIDI out on this cable. Let's see. That's the MIDI in, and this is the MIDI out. So I want to take the MIDI out and plug it into a USB port. Now I'm going to choose USB port A. Now you want to remember you have it in USB port A. It's going to ask you that later on when you want to finish setting up the MIDI, device. So you got to remember that. Once you do it for the first time, you don't have to do it again. So now that we got everything set up, just a quick recap. Now you can control your MPCX sounds from your keyboard workstation or MIDI controller. You can also control your software from your MPCX or your MIDI controller just by doing this, setup. So now you got access to everything, your hardware synth, your VSTs or plugins that's on your MPCX, and then the plugins that's on your desktop or laptop, whichever one you may have. So now you got a fully hybrid system with a plethora of sounds. So next, what we're going to do is hook up our MPCX and get that set up for file sharing. So you also get a USB cable that comes with the MPCX. So all you got to do is just hook that straight up in like that. And now, you're ready to file share. So that's pretty much it. Just a quick recap and rundown again. This is the USB cable for file sharing. We got another USB cable going to our workstation or keyboard controller. That way we can control our sounds in MPCX. Next, we got the USB MIDI cable going from our MPCX to our desktop. And that's going to give us the option to control our VSTs within inside our desktop. We can use the pads to control the sounds, or we can use our keyboard controller to control the sounds. So that's pretty much it for this section. I appreciate y'all staying locked in with me. It's the Cook Up with Von Freeze. Welcome to the Beat Dojo. Hey, quick side note, I just wanted to show y'all something. Now, if you don't care about controlling, your record and play functionality, far as doing all that on the hardware itself, such as the MPCX, you can just hook it up, just hook it up the regular way. Like I'm in standalone mode right now, but since I'm using the OBS software, I have to pick a different audio than the Focusrite. So in my case, I'm gonna use it this way if I'm recording. So I just wanted to give you a quick side note. So as y'all can see, this is where you got to have your correct MIDI port. So you can see the pads highlighting. That's letting you know that I'm controlling everything on the MPC. And the sound that you hear is actually coming from, well, you can't hear it because I got my speakers, but the sound that you're going to hear when I go back to the software is actually being played on the VST, of course. So, but in my case, since I'm, creating videos and stuff, it makes it more easier for me to do it like this. So as you can see, this is what I was telling you on my previous videos, is that you got to know the MIDI port. So my MIDI port is A. MIDI port is on MIDI port A output. So as you can see, it's picking up the sound from it. But that's how I got it set up. So that's just a quick side note. If you don't care about, having your hardware control your software, you could just, keep it like this and just know the MIDI port that it's in. So let's go ahead and get back into the rest of the video. Yes, sir. So, okay, we got all that out the way and set up. So, so what you want to do, you seen how we got it set up. Make sure you got the workstation hooked up. Now, the way I got mine hooked up, I got two MIDI cables. And if you seen in the video, one MIDI cable going into the MPCX and then another MIDI cable going into from the MPCX into my desktop. That's how I got mine hooked up. I can't tell you if it will work with just one because, when I first got my MPCX, which was about 5 years ago, 4 years ago, somewhere in there, about four and a half years ago. So when I first got my MPCX, that was my thought process off the gate, is that I need two MIDI cables. Will it work with one? I don't know. We could try it and find out. But for right now, for my hybrid system that I envisioned me controlling everything on my MPCX and my desktop. So the MPCX is the brains of the operation. My keyboard, whichever keyboard I'm using, it could be the Phantom, it could be my Montage, it could be my Chronos. Right now, it's the Korg M3 because this is a workstation desk that I got, and it's 88 keys. So that's why I got this one set up. So whatever keyboard I got hooked up, I can control everything in my MPCX and my desktop. Like I told y'all before, I got over 50,000 sounds towards 70,000 sounds. So I want to be able to control everything. I want to be able to have access to all my sounds at one time. So that's why I got mine set up like this. So when I got my MPCX, that was my train of thought, is to make a superior hybrid system, and that's what I feel like I've created. So you want to have two USB MIDI cables. Like you saw in the video, I said the USB Uno, I got that in 2007. You could try to find that type of cable. It's a USB to MIDI cable. Or you could try two USB cables. So you're going to need two. If you want to do what I'm doing, you're going to need two. So, boom. Okay, the next thing, I'm going to go ahead and load up the MPC software. Now, you're going to be able to see me. Oh, it's already loaded, my bad. You're going to be able to see me control. Okay, so now what I got to do is, I know y'all can't see it, but Okay, you see right now, all y'all hearing that sound is from my cord. So what I got to do on my MPC, on these, on your screen where it says sequencer, it got your MIDI out, it got track 2, all that good stuff. So if you go down, hit new track, and then choose a MIDI track, boom. The reason why I'm doing it like this because y'all not going to be able to hear me if I go into into the controller mode. But I've already tested it. But the problem with that video was you couldn't hear me because of the audio device. So with me trying to do videos, that's a whole nother thing. So I'm doing it like this, but it still works because, like I said, I haven't been using controller mode. I always wanted to know how, but it wasn't really that pressing for me, so I kept using my MPC in standalone mode. So anyway, what you got to do is come here. Once you choose to create a new track, you're gonna go to your MIDI port. Like I said, you got to remember your MIDI port because it's going to ask you. So it's on MIDI port A. So as you can see, I'm hitting the keys, and you can see the keys lighting up in the software. So what I'm going to do, just to show y'all, I am going to select a piano sound and heat up 3. Now this is where the other part come in at about streaming. So right now I have my audio in turned down. Well, no, it's turned up. So okay, the playback. So the playback is turned down. So the only way you're going to be able to hear it is for me to turn it up. So you may hear me my voice dub a little bit, but let me see if I can, swipe it right quick. And I'll just come back. So what I'm going to do is play the sound, and I'm going to come back and, put it on the proper settings. So bear with me. So as you can see, I'm able to play those sounds, and you can see the sound, right here. You can see it's playing. So I can play the sounds no matter what. If I got it set up, the only reason why I got it like this because I'm trying to make content. If I wasn't trying to make content, I wouldn't do it like that. But if you're not trying to make content, you could just hook it up the controller mode way. And if you need help, just, reach out to me, or you can look back at my other video or the first beginning of this video. But if you need help, you can get a one-on-one session with me, $50 for an hour. And we'll do a video chat or whatnot. So as you can see, I got control over everything, and I'm not even in controller mode. So, and I've tested all this out before this video. So in controller mode, you also can create an audio track. As you can see, I've already got audio right there that I played off of my M3. So let me turn this back up. So what I'm going to do is, let's see. No, it's not going to work like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to record over it so y'all can see. And you can see that the sound is registering. It's picking it up. Okay, so it recorded. I'm going to have to go through that whole process again. But y'all get the idea. So it goes back to what I said. This is the ultimate hybrid setup. You can control all your sounds inside your workstation. That's one. Then you can control your sounds that's in your MPC. That's 2. Then if you like me, you got a whole bunch of VSTs. You can control all your sounds in your desktop, your VSTs within your DAW software, whatever. So you got control of everything, fully integrated, fully hybrid production center. That's why I wanted to stick with hardware, because I have the best of both worlds. I got everything that the hardware got to offer, plus all the software, nicks, all the good stuff, all the good things about software. So like I said, if you need help, because it can get kind of confusing and complicated trying to figure out this stuff, especially from the first time some of y'all coming from just strictly being software, I've always been hardware. You know, little story. I used to hook up my mom's stereo. I figured out how to record the beat into this in her stereo. Didn't have another recorder. It was just my ingenuity, you know, on hooking things up. So I'm pretty much still the same way. And like I said, when I first got my MPCX, that was my train of thought, is to have two MIDI cables so I could control the sounds within the MPC and the sounds in my computer. So that's where I'm standing at. So if you need help, you know, I'm going to link my email. Hit me up on my email, and we'll set up a one-on-one. Like I said, it's going to be $50 one-on-one, and we'll get an hour if need be. If you need an hour, I'll sit there an hour, walk you through the process, try to explain it to where you can understand, and we'll get you up to speed. You feel me? So this is your boy Von Freeze, live from the Fifth Dimension. Not really a cook-up video today, but I just wanted to, you know, try to get my subscribers up to speed, and, you know, how we can, you know, get this thing to where you can get both of your workstation and your MPC talking with your computer. So hit me up, like and share, drop your comments. Shout out to all my new subscribers. Y'all got your boy over 1,000 subscribers within the last week to 2 weeks. This will be 2 weeks this week. So y'all got me up. I was at like 540. Now I'm over 1,000 and, you know, 30 or something like that. So shout out to y'all. Let's keep it moving. I'm gonna be creating more content. So y'all stay locked in with your boy. It's your boy Von Freeze, and I'm out.